back, Adventures. Today is July 10th, and we are making some kittens for National Kitten Day. I actually have two cats at home, so I'm going to be basing kind of their tails and their whiskers and their ears off of my two kittens that I have. So what you're going to need is you will see this ball of yarn in your bag. You will also see another piece of yarn like this. You will find two paper towel rolls cut in half, two pipe cleaners, a pair of scissors, and two things of cardboard. One has a hole, one does not. That will be important later on. Alright, so what you're going to do first is you are going to take this big roll of yarn that we have here, and I'm going to see which side. I think I'm going to pull from this side. Which side will? Yeah, this side will be the best side. So, you're going to take it and take two fingers like this, wrap it around. You will find that your fingers create a little slot for you to pull through the yarn, and then pull it like that. So, next you will take your paper towel rolls and you will stick it through with the knot on top, and you'll wrap it around until your yarn is done. It should be about 50 times. Alright, so then you will have your yarn like so, and wherever your yarn stopped at, so mine stopped on this side, is where you're gonna want to take your next pieces of string. These ones you don't have to tie together if you don't want to, it's up to you. But what you're going to do is, with these paper towel holders, you are going to stick it through this slot right here, and then stick this side through this slot like this, and then flip it over, and you will see that you can then tie it in a knot. So you're going to want to tie it once and tie it as tight as you possibly can. And then you're going to slip it out of the paper towel holders like this. And then you are going to tie it tight again, just as tight as you possibly can. And then you're going to secure it with tying a knot once more, so that way it's locked in place like so. And so then you will have kind of a weird, like, jellyfish looking thing. So now what you're going to want to do is take your scissors, and you will see that there's loops all through here, and you're going to want to cut through those loops. So just like, there might be some hidden ones in there, so just go through there and try to find all the pieces. And then once you think that you've got all of the loops cut, you will then have this little pom-pom. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your string and feed it through this hole here. It might be difficult to get every single one. You don't need to get all of them through. If you can't get them, that's okay. But just get one or two through that hole, so that way you can pull it through like this. So then you'll have your pom-pom that looks like so. You'll then take the other circle and smush it like an ice cream sandwich, and pull out all the string, so that way when we cut them, we're not missing any. So like this. And now you can tell that we have some extra string. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to cut all that off. With the kid scissors, it will take a little bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit so you don't have to watch me cut all of the string. So now you should have something that looks like this, and you will still have it connected to the bottom here. So what you're going to want to do for these pieces that you've been holding on to is you're going to take it just like so, and ready, snip, and it will release it from the bottom here. So then you're gonna wanna fluff it up, so that way you can see all the pieces that you may need to cut still. And like you can see on mine, there are quite a few pieces that I could trim a little bit more. So I'm just gonna go around and kind of snip any that are too long for my liking. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a tail and some ears and some whiskers and a little nose. So I think I want my tail and my ears to be purple, and I think I want my whiskers and nose to be red. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in half like this, and I'm just gonna cut it like so. And this first piece here is gonna be the tail. So the part that we cut, since it's gonna be a little bit more sharp because we cut it, you're gonna wanna take it, and in the middle of your ball that you've made here, you can see that there is that string. So you're gonna want to feed it through that, and on whatever side you want, this will be the back side because it will be the tail. And you're gonna feed it through. And then once you get it through, it should look like this. You're gonna want to twist your pipe cleaner like this, so that way it locks it in place and it won't go anywhere. If you want to cut your pipe cleaner because it's too long for you, that's okay, you can do that too. My cats have crooked tails, so I'm gonna make mine crooked because I think that's just cute. And then for my ears, have you all seen the M for McDonald's? That's kind of what I'm gonna equate this to, is what it looks like. It kind of looks like the M off of the yellow sign. So we're gonna do that. So basically it's gonna look like this. Then on the top part, you're gonna wanna squish down your hairs like this, and you're gonna put it, let's see here, see how there's that string there? You're gonna put it through that string, and then you're gonna be able to pull your ears out like so. So then they'll be sticking out like that, and then your ends of your pieces, what you're gonna wanna do is just kind of stick them into the ball. And then my puff ball is a little bit too puffy up here, so you can't see the ears. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it a little bit. So once I've done that, you can now see that a little bit more. I think I'm going to go ahead, and while I'm at it, I think I'm gonna just cut the front a little bit too, because I know that that's where my whiskers are gonna be. And so I want it to be where you can see it a little bit more. So I'm just cutting this down a little bit so that way it's not as puffy on that area, and you're more likely to see it. And then what you're gonna do again is you're gonna split it apart, and you're gonna see that line where we put it through, and that's where you're gonna have your whiskers coming through. So it's up to you how much you want to use of this pipe cleaner. You can save it for a later project if you want, or you can use the whole thing. Like I said, it's your kitten that you're making, so it's however you want to make it. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to measure it about like this, and then I'm gonna fold it in half. And I think I'm gonna save half of my pipe cleaner for later, and I'm just gonna use half of it now. And then also, I know that I'm gonna need a little piece to wrap around the nose, so that will be handy to keep some of this for later. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna fold this in half once more, and then I'm gonna cut it like this, and then we're gonna fold them in half one more time, and then do the same to the other one. And this makes it the shape of little whiskers, see, like that. And we're gonna, like I showed you where the line is, the string, we're gonna push it through that string. I'm gonna bend mine like that, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with putting it through the same string that I just showed you to the other side. Alright, so once we get the whiskers in, that does take some concentration because you have to make sure you're putting it through the right area. You are going to have an option, and I like this option because I think it just finishes the look, is you're going to take your pipe cleaner, and I'm going to just cut about this much. Again, it's up to you how much you want to cut, and I'm going to stick it in the top of these whiskers like this. Maybe the bottom would work better. And then you're just gonna wanna stick it into the pom-pom like that. And once it's stuck in there, you will be able to see your little cat face you made. And there's your little kitty. Thanks for watching with us today, and we'll see you again next time.